Hello, everyone. This is my introduction presentation for AEP855 for educational leadership. So my name is Taylor Ireland. I grew up in Eudora, Kansas, and currently live in Colby, Kansas with my husband and our two dogs. And we actually just recently got a puppy for Christmas. So I have been working with her this whole week, and it has been super fun. I am a member of the Osage Nation tribe out of Oklahoma. I'm in my fourth year of teaching, and I have only two more classes before I graduate in May. I've got this one and my practicum, and I am very ready to be done with my master's. It has been such a fun experience, but working and taking a master's at the same time is a lot. But I work in the Colby uh, school district here for first graders. So for our school year, we started full in and have been the entire semester, and we actually didn't even get do full masks until no until November, like right before Thanksgiving. Again, we're in such a rural place, and the community isn't really into the idea of hybrid or anything like that. But we have done fairly decent with um, any cases. It's been more the teachers, not the students that have been unfortunately getting it. Again, it's not a whole lot different than most other years beyond just protocols and, hand washing every hour, hand sanitizer every time we come in and out of the room. Now we have the masks, and we'd have specific spots for lunch and in line and in the classroom, so they're kind of by the same people all day long. And we're going to continue the same thing after break as well. So for the mindsets with all of these, I agree with all of them. The only one I was kind of in and out between was the teacher collaboration over isolation. I think there are times when collaboration is great, but I also think it's a good idea to come to think on your own and sometimes just have that um space to think by yourself and then come back and collaborate. I will say we have this year been told we have been doing our collaborations for 25 minutes every single morning before the kids come in. And so for us, especially for me, our collaborations right now are just not really doing it for us. We're not doing it the correct way. And I feel like if we were doing it the right way, it would benefit us a lot more. But we're honestly just more frustrated by it. So that's kind of why I'm, on the fence about this specific one. But when done correctly, I know collaboration is a fantastic thing for teachers and with your administration as well. Again, all students can learn. If you don't have that mindset, then I don't know. I really don't know why you're teaching, because if you don't think all your students can do something, then I don't know why you're in the classroom, really, or in administration. Happiness and optimism. Yeah, very, very much agree with this one. I have worked with a lot of people who are negative, and I've even had negative administration, and you can just tell a huge difference between an admin who is positive and there for you and, is very optimistic about everything versus an admin who is just negative and not willing to help. So, yeah, all of these I definitely agree. For the dispositions, again, totally. Confidence, that is definitely something, because if you're not confident as an admin, then honestly, your teachers are going to step all over you and you're not going to be able to get a whole lot done. For the risk taker, I really like this quote from Moore. It says, "Great schools have teachers and leaders who learn by doing and are not afraid of failure." And, that's something I've learned in this master's program as well, that it's okay to fail. And, you just keep trying new things. And that's the great thing about working with littles, is that one day you could say, "Hey, we're going to try it this way." And the next day you say, "Hey, you know what? That didn't really work. We're going to try it again today." And I just think it's always okay. It's okay to fail, and teaching our kids that is always a good thing too. Sense of humor. I personally believe sense of humor, you definitely have to have it working with kids and working with adults who work with kids. I've just seen that it is just so hard to work with someone who doesn't have a sense of humor. And especially for me, I love to laugh. I love making my kids laugh. I just think it just makes your day so much better when you are having fun. And, working with an admin who isn't like that it's kind of a downer, honestly. And then empathetically assertive, yeah, and then you knowing how to view situations from others' perspective. So, I sometimes feel like admin, a lot of the times they are teachers and have been teachers for a while, and then once they go to admin, they completely forget what it's like to be in the classroom. And I think that's something that if you're going to become administration, a principal, whoever, that you've got to remember how it feels to be in that classroom. Because if you can understand that, you can understand where all of our ideas and our complaints and our frustrations come from. And then, of course, you can never stop learning, even as an admin, never stop learning, never stop finding new things. I think it is always an important thing to continue your learning, no matter what direction it goes in. Um, yes, again, all of these super important. The focus and prioritizing. Again, I really like the fact that he said something about keeping it simple because if you try and do too many things at once, you're just gonna continue to fail. And yeah, it's okay to fail, but when you continuously fail on things that need to be done, it can get dicey and it can get not very fun for everyone. So keeping things simple, doing things one at a time, and prioritizing what needs to get done first definitely is something that a good admin would do. Um, and I liked the idea of the data, like working on the right data at the right time. So, especially this year with COVID, there's some data that, we just don't really care about. And that's okay. We need to focus on the data like, our students' social emotional growth right now, or how our students are, physically feeling at school rather than their academic success, which it is still important, but in my mind, it's just not the most important this year. So again, but working on the right data at the right time. And then, of course, emotional intelligence. I've worked with someone who, and I see it, who does not treat each teacher the same. And it is very disheartening when you go to work and your work best friend is being treated one way and you're treating a different way and you can't do anything about it. And I just feel that this is something that goes for really anybody working with teachers. You've got to be able to give that same emotion to every single person when you're in administration, or you're going to have a whole lot of teachers who are not very happy. And again, on these principles, all of these I completely agree with. There's just so many things that when you're in administration that you have to make sure you are doing. Um, but also keeping your own views of how a school has to be run, just making sure that you're doing what is best for your students and your teachers and not what is best for yourself. But again, like just making sure that you're staying true to yourself as well. I think the one thing on here that's especially like big is sensitivity and understanding, because it is a long day with students, and sometimes the teacher just needs to come in and have a conversation with their admin, and just having that understanding, having that sensitivity for your teachers and even for your students who come in and need to chat with you is something huge, because if you're not sensitive um to their voices, then you're not going to get very far. And again, all of these things are just something that's so easily overlooked, I think, and that some admin just forget, like how hard it is to be in those classrooms. So for my own personal critique, my mindset, I feel pretty good on all of those. I this year especially, I've definitely learned to be more positive. And I have noticed a huge difference in the fact that I'm positive, and I've even, had a couple people tell me like, hey, thank you so much for just smiling and being happy all the time. They're like, it really makes my day. And so that's made a huge difference for me personally. So I feel really good about those. My dispositions, I still, since it's only my fourth year, I'm still working on the confidence and the risk taking, I still don't always speak up during meetings or during collabs. And even though I know I've got good ideas, and so that's something I'm really trying to work on is just being okay with working on my confidence and working on that. The practices, again, there's always room for improvement. I feel good about some, but again, there's always room for improvement no matter what you're doing. Again, you're always learning, you're always finding new things to try, and there's never anything that you could not be doing. And then again, principles, some of these apply to me as a teacher, but I feel like a lot of these really are towards administration. However, again, I feel pretty good about them, but a lot of these, like I said, I feel like these are more for admin rather than the classroom teacher. So, for each of these articles, just discussing the practices of good leaders and how they are cultivating a good working environment, because truly, a ship can't run without its captain. And it's the same thing with teachers. If we don't have someone in admin who's going to have our backs and who is there for us, then it just makes our ship run not as smooth. Relevance to me, some of the ideas of these things I can do for myself, rather than what I can do for like others. Again, this is more towards administration, and I'm not quite to the idea of wanting to be an admin. Um, I may have thought about it, but again, I'm only in my fourth year of teaching, so I'm still trying to really focus on what I'm doing in the classroom and still enjoying what I'm doing in the classroom. Alrighty, thank you for watching.